In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Praise be to Allah. We seek His help and His forgiveness. We seek refuge with Allah from the evil of our own souls and from our bad deeds. Whomsoever Allah guides will never be led astray, and whomsoever Allah leaves astray, no one can guide. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is His slave and messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We can't hear you.
I'm like, am I saying this? I always forget this part. Okay. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That's better. So, we're back again. It's been a long hiatus. I think it's been, like a month or something like that?
Yeah, it's about a month. SubhanAllah.
Yeah, SubhanAllah. It's been a minute. Forgive my voice. I was under the weather this weekend, so I'm still recovering from that, alhamdulillah. And you're probably going to hear a lot of toddler activity in the background. My son, mashallah, he's very active. He's doing what he does. And so I'm going to do what I do, inshallah, and chat with you guys tonight. We both are. And I know we said that the next episode we were going to discuss women. However, I felt as though, and so did Sister Raya, that there was something else that needed to be discussed that was more pressing, then we could come back around to the subject of women a little later, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Speak up.
Inshallah. So we will definitely come back around.
Inshallah. So you want to go ahead and get us started on what we're going to talk about?
So this is, I don't know, I guess this is more just like an awareness of what's getting ready to happen, or it's already happening, but it's not really being talked about. And it's basically just how people are being treated when they're at work, working with non-Muslims and Muslims, and dealing with the general public. And Sister Aziza and I have had a lot of experiences that we would like to share and make people aware to, because we just want everyone to be prepared and make sure that they're on their deen and that they get where they need to be so you can protect yourself if it does come your way, inshallah.
Inshallah. But what about the non-Muslims that are maybe listening as well? What do they have to benefit?
As far as the non-Muslims, for those of you who don't have issues with Muslims and you see Muslims as good people, peaceful people, this is nothing bad against any of you or against any religion, whether you believe in Allah or not. It's more so just as a caution that people of all shapes, colors, sizes, religions, disbelievers, or whatever can be your worst enemy and can bring harm to you. And to just be careful.
Okay.
Aziza, do you want to tell your story first, or one of them first, since yours happened before mine? Or are we going backwards?
Before I share, I have so much to say about this. I want to start with my story first, and then I have so many thoughts running through my head. I want to start with history first, briefly, okay. And then I want to go into the story. If you don't watch the news, if you live under a rock, doesn't matter. I'm sure everyone's heard about, I don't want to say their names, certain individuals that are running for the presidency of the United States of America, and they have brought certain feelings to the forefront. Certain feelings that were probably already there anyway, but as far as bigotry and hatred towards not just Muslims, but other groups of people. And we see that this country has never healed from the hatred and ignorance. I say it never healed because it can't heal. When you build a country on the backs of people, when you enslave them, and you built that country on those people for over 500 years, there's no way you can establish a society that is going to be colorblind, that is going to treat people as equals. Because there's just too much dark history there. And we can sugarcoat it all day. Go ahead.
Not even that it's dark. It's that, and it wasn't okay when it happened, and it's not okay now. But to cover it up and then try and repaint it as certain things did not happen, and now you want to correct it and say that this did actually happen, we just didn't feel like it was right to.
Most definitely.
So we're just going to cover it and leave it out of history.
Most
and
definitely.
Now you want to go back and kind of like make up for it. Kind of like, i.e., the example of now you want to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill or the $2 bill or whatever. Like,
right.
Putting her on the front or the back of any piece of money is not going to give any person of color who was in slavery, lived after slavery, it's not giving them any type of justice. For what they lost, what they went through, for anything that any of those people suffered, or even today, like it's a piece of paper, it's a piece of money. You're gonna spend it. It's still gonna spend the same.
And like you said, it wasn't right then. No matter what people want to say, oh well, you need to judge slavery in the historical context. No, owning people is wrong. If it was right then you wouldn't have had people fighting to abolish it.
Exactly.
And it would not have been stated blatantly in the Holy Quran to not own people, to free your slaves, if that were the case.
Yes.
But I digress from that.
I will post the ayah for that, the ayah for that down below.
What's that?
I said, inshallah, we'll post the ayah for that from the Quran down below.
Inshallah. Yeah, so, and it's not just Black people who suffered. You know, we don't hear about Native Americans who suffered greatly. You know, genocide.
Yeah. Right.
You know, their land was stolen. They weren't brought here. Their land was stolen from them. Their identity stripped away, and whatever, you know, culture they could salvage. You know, they somewhat keep it, but I do know that even that's starting to die away because you have the newer generations that don't have that tie, you know, to their culture,
right,
like the older generations do. And no one talks about, you know, all the alcoholism, the child abuse, the domestic abuse that takes place in Native American communities.
Yeah.
So it's not just Black people that were marginalized and oppressed.
I think every race has had its day.
Every race or every group that has been different, that is not your homogenous Anglo-Saxon, has been treated poorly. You know, you had the internment camps during World War II for the Japanese. You had the Chinese that broke their backs on the railroad here.
Right. Yeah, the Jewish. And...
The Mexican Americans, the Irish, the Italian, we could go on and on.
Right. So on and on.
So my point is, by saying that, what's happening now to Muslims is not new. This country, as you can see, loves to hate what is different and what they don't understand and what they don't want to have the time to understand. So it's just, Muslims are the flavor of the week, if you will. That's how I see it.
Yeah, definitely. They're totally just like, we are the flavor of the week right now. For how long? You know, only as long as us, may Allah protect us all. But yeah, we just have to be knowledgeable and learn how to fight the fight, but fight the fight in the right way and to protect yourself.
Yep. So with that little history refresher, and I'm sure there will be individuals that will, you know, dispute that or try to rationalize it, and that's fine. But my story. So this was a couple of weeks ago. I took my son to the park, and the park was pretty crowded that day. So my son was running around on the playground, doing his thing, and I was chasing after him. And I was so focused on him that I wasn't paying attention to, you know, who might be in the area. And I guess that was my fault for not being vigilant. But it's unfortunate that I would have to be vigilant at the park with my 2-year-old. Be that as it may, this man walks up to me, in my personal space and starts yelling at me. And I don't mean to offend anybody, but his accent was so thick, from being in the South, that I really didn't understand the dialect. Like I said, I was focused on what was going on, and I didn't understand his dialect. And he said, "You're Muslim, aren't you?" And I said, "Yes, I am." "Well, then you got a bomb on you." And I was like, "Excuse me? You got a bomb on you. That's what you people do. You want to blow up this park." Mind you, he's yelling the whole time. And I was like, "No, I'm a tax-paying American. I'm not here to blow up anything." "You liar!" And so everybody at the park is just staring. So I figured that was a good opportunity to just walk away from the situation, because it was very scary. Not scary at what he said, but that this individual had the audacity, or, the stupidity, whatever you want to call it, to, approach a woman by herself with her child and assault her verbally. I don't know if he had some kind of, mental illness or what was going on there, but he was with a group of people, because after I walked away, I heard him say, "Come on, let's go." And I looked back, and he got into an SUV with about 5 other people. So not one of those people said, "Hey man, you probably need to back off." Why did nobody pull him to the side? Maybe because they felt that way too. Maybe because they figured, hey, well, that Muslim, that terrorist, she needs to be told off. Good on him. But I will tell you this, there were 2 people that walked up to me. Sure enough, they were not from here. Go figure. They walked up to me and they apologized. They apologized for what had been said. And they said, "I just wanted to let you know that not all of us are like him." And I said, "I appreciate, you apologizing, but it wasn't you that said it."
Right.
So there are good people out there, and there are people that are willing to stand up for what's right. It's few and far between. But I just think that it's...
I hope that are always there or around, inshallah, when something happens.
Inshallah. But I just think it's very unfortunate that this is 2016, and we have all this technology, and, we're the leader of the free world, blah, 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 but we still treat other people like garbage because of the way they look. Is that evolution, for those of you that believe in evolution? Is that what we have evolved to? So, yeah, like I said, sticks and stones may break my bones. And it wasn't even about the words. It's just scary to think about. Like, what if he had really been off the rails?
Right. He could have hurt you. He could have anything, and freedom of speech, I don't care. But you don't do that to somebody. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's not right. It's not appropriate. It's not respectful. He could, if he was that concerned, there's a right and a way and a wrong way to create an appropriate situation.
An appropriate dialogue.
Appropriate dialogue, and to approach you in a different way. He could have been more respectful.
Mm-hmm. Now, had I been in my uniform, I bet you 10 times out of 10, that would have been the same type of person that would walk up to me and thank me for my service.
Yep. It definitely would have been. Because you would have been the person that's fighting against the terrorists that carries bombs under your bias. Oh, my bad. You wear one of those after work? Yeah, this is just my 9 to 5.
Right. Yeah. So it's all very interesting. Would you like to talk about your experience?
Yeah. So I have, for those who know me personally, I'm not going to say where I work. I do with the general, very close with the general public. I got a lot of people in my face, and I'm in a lot of people's face. And and I don't mean that in the way that it themselves, but